everybody, Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab S2. This is the 8-inch version of this Android tablet, 32 gigs of internal storage, Wi-Fi only. This is the black version. It's also available in gold. Priced at $399 US, this tablet is smaller than its predecessor, the original Tab S, which I covered last year. 8.4 inches, the original. So not only has the screen gotten smaller, but we also have less resolution. But do not fear, we still have a Super AMOLED display. And that is really the hallmark of Samsung's entire mobile lineup. You can see some specifications right here. 8-inch display, 2048 by 1536. Again, a Super AMOLED. I expect it to be gorgeous to look at. That is really what the Tab S lineup is all about. The octa-core processor driving this is the same one found in the Note 4, 3 gigs of DDR3 RAM, an 8 megapixel camera on the rear, 2 megapixel or 2.1, excuse me, on the front, UHD playback and QHD recording, so no 4K video capture here. Again, 32 gigs of internal storage, but you can expand that up to 128 gigs using a micro SD card. Beyond that, Bluetooth, Knox security, things you've come to expect if you are a Samsung user. Let me go ahead and get this thing out of the box. And one of the things you may have noticed already, much like the 9.7-inch version, is that the packaging has taken a stark contrast in change. And that is because, well, Samsung is trying to change their appearance on just about every level. And this display got smaller. It also changed aspect ratios. We moved from a 16 by 10 more cinematic experience to a 4 by 3, and that's really more about content consumption that isn't of the video kind. Now, this tablet is, if I can get it out of the box, one of the thinnest and lightest, of course the Tab would make that easier, thinnest and lightest on the market, especially in its class, much like its 9.7-inch sibling. And that is one of the things that Samsung has focused on here, which is really, like all of their mobile products, making it more premium, and in doing so also making the device really overall the thinnest and lightest of its kind. And they've done exactly that. So both this tablet in the 8-inch form as well as the 9.7-inch are both the thinnest and lightest tablets in their class. So that is a bragging right they own right now, and I also expect they will continue to remain at least the best displays that you'll find on any tablet on the market, regardless of size. Before I get into anything more with the tablet, I will try to power it on. See if we can get this on. I'm expecting about a 50% charge. The balance of contents in the box here, the wall wart, which you basically should recognize. You're just going to connect that to a micro USB cable, which is included right here. And unfortunately, and this applies to both the 9.7-inch version as well as this 8-inch version, no quick charge here, no wireless charging. So if you were looking for that, unfortunately, it's not an element of this new Tab S2. You can see the pinhole lock key right here for the micro SD card slot, something that I'm not in love with, but isn't really a big deal. Better that we actually have expandable storage, something that the Note 5 did abandon. So even though we're getting the Note 4 processor and we're not getting the same amount of RAM, that 4 gigs of RAM, we still have some benefits that I think are critical to anyone who actually plans to use a tablet for any sort of real content consumption. They did stick with a physical home button right here, much like on their devices. It does run Lollipop out of the box, but this is not the most current version of Lollipop, but that's to be expected with a Samsung device. It's really more about the experience they want to deliver rather than what Google's trying to push to all of their Nexus devices. You probably already know that if you own a Galaxy device to begin with. Back button, multitasking button, our 2.1 megapixel shooter right here at the front end, or top end I should say, power button, volume rocker, the micro SD card slot right there, which I mentioned before, you will need to use that key in order to open. On the back of the tablet, we have the 8 megapixel camera. As I remove yet another layer of plastic, everyone's favorite, we also have the two buttons here essentially that allow you to use Samsung's book cover style case, which is an optional accessory, and that's pretty much it. At the bottom of the tablet, We have the micro USB charging port and the headphone jack microphone and headphone jack combo. And then also the speakers do flank the bottom. So for those of you that were curious where they located them on this tablet, they are on the bottom. Hopefully that's in focus and you're able to see that, which it looks like you are. But overall, I am impressed with the build quality. Incredibly thin, incredibly light. In terms of the smaller screen, I think this is all about customer feedback and really trying to deliver what Samsung believes all of you want. So if you have been waiting for a 4:3 aspect ratio with a Super AMOLED display, then clearly your wish has been granted. The only downside to this is that the battery has gotten smaller. So the form factor, that is one of the key expenses or costs of getting this thinner and lighter version of its predecessor. I do anticipate that this will outperform its predecessor. After all, it is the second gen. And as mentioned before, even though we've lost a little bit of resolution, I still expect a best-in-class display, even though things have just gotten better when it comes to build quality and, of course, again, how thin this tablet actually is. And it really does resemble the Note 4 a lot. In fact, that's what both this and its 9.7-inch sibling reminded me of straight out of the box. And that's a good thing, by all means. And again, happy that we do have storage expansion. So that pretty much covers the unboxing. I will be giving further impressions as I get to use this tablet more and compare it to other options in its class. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.